Katie. More amazing, awesome work. I definitely agree the sensory helped in covering it. Your board placement was awesome. It was kind of a weird angle, but I think maybe, especially because he seemed to have a kind of a harder time in that right corner, it seemed like it was still a little bit more in the center, so really make sure it's more on the right side of his body. I love all your prompts. You know, forward, back, extend that arm, bend that elbow back. Sometimes I'll even, once they go forward and then they only go back an inch or so, I kind of wave my arm back to help with that prompt. Shoot me a text, remind me that I have a video that I can share of a guy who kind of gets a little frozen and stuck, and even the tracing. You were doing this already, but you know, try and remind him to use the same hand. And yeah, that right corner was tricky, and especially because he's in that loop of starting with the left and going down the line. And the tracing is really, really hard, but just the more practice that you have, you will get there. It's just nothing that really happens in one session. But if you know that he needs to go to the right side of the board, then just be like, all right, whatever his name is, sorry, what is it? Anthony, like, I need you to really think about, I know you know what letter you're going to. I want to see those eyes all the way to the other side, and we're going straight for that first letter. So I'm gonna drop it and go. Get it, over towards me. Come on, you got it, top right. Just like really go for it. And then if you see him starting with the left and going down the line, then just lift it up after that second poke, or even after that first poke, if you know he's supposed to be all the way on the right side. I like how once he did get the D, you were kind of trying to encourage getting another D. I actually just started with somebody who mimics my pointer, so I'm trying to kind of hold my hand a little more still and not point. But yeah, sometimes, you know, I just have to if I'm going to the left side of the board, and then they'll just poke their hand off into the middle of nowhere. So then that's where, you know, you just got to get a little more creative with a little less gestural and a little more of that super duper heavy on the eye and directional prompts. I love how you were keeping an eye on his prompt, on his eyes. And then I did skip around a bit. I just went to the minutes that you told me to, but just a reminder to make sure, because he's new and it's a lot of motor for him, really just stick with like three, maybe 4 questions, and then read, and he can walk around or do whatever, but you never want to have him spelling like 5 or 6 words, because you just don't want to tire him out too soon. Let me see if you have any specific questions. Yeah, I mean, the reset, it's exactly what I would have done, so don't worry, you're doing it great. And just tell him, you know, if you feel like it's frustrating him, just be like, hey, I'm just sorry, because I know that this starting on the left and laddering or tracing is a loop, so I'm just going to try breaking the board, and eventually we won't be doing this.